did buy, like I said, I bought an Amazon call at 94 that expires the 16th of December.
Ah, okay.
But there's a gap down that hasn't been filled
Yeah.
after late October.
Hey, YouTube. And that was a Amazon call?
Yeah, it's a naked call.
Okay.
I'm taking, educated pot shots, just trying to grow my account. It seems like
Right.
monitoring out of the money is really the only way now.
Well,
Transparency won't work.
and the thing is and just from my experience, you got to really be careful sometimes because what those long calls will do on a just a plain old buy call or put that you can do in Webull is sometimes the decay will it looks good when you're buying it, but the decay will kick in. So something like that, when you start getting a good little profit, I would get it. I would take the profit, yeah, and don't let it stay too long, because you just never know, yeah. Some things look they do some things to make us go in there and get our greed, like oh, it only costs $5 if I buy this call.
Yeah, if you go into Amazon Daily, there's a cup and handle, and it's right after a giant gap down.
Let's go look.
From my understanding of a cup and handle, that's on a trend. You want to make sure that that's already going up. It's confirmation signal.
Oh, okay.
You said on a daily.
Yeah. You see that gap, right? The end of October
Yeah, 1027.
hasn't been filled.
No, it has not. It did gap down and it did miss the 200. Yeah, I think that was the gap that Jeremy was looking at a while back when we were doing he walked me, Devin, that's that debit spread he walked me through last Monday.
Oh, that's the one right there?
Yeah, that was the call debit spread.
Yeah. How did that end up for you? How'd you do on it?
Well, its expiration's the 16th. So
Oh, okay.
we
So you're still waiting.
we're still waiting, and we're talking about rolling it over. Okay, look, let me just go run over here. Hi, YouTube. Hi, everybody. We're glad you're here. I'm here with a whole bunch of folks.
Like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
There you go. YouTube, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. I hope they can hear you on YouTube. I'm not sure they can on mine. But,
Oh, well.
well, oh well, it's good. So here we got a little sell off going on over here on SPY, that area we talked about earlier that I wanted to see it hit. We reached it once this morning in the regular trading hours, right near the open, and then we hit it again a little while later, and then we tried to come back up to it, no go, and so there we are coming back down. So could be a nice little range day like that all day long. Let me go look at my other stuff. Is that's funny. There we are.
I just finished reading a EA book. And, they also said, you got to fill the gaps. You got to fill the gaps.
Yeah, now SPY, always fills the gaps, and I think is Amazon part of the S&P? Forgive me for not knowing, guys. So a lot of those guys tend to they tend to fill those gaps when they do it. It's a good question. All right, Amazon actually getting us a little bit of slowdown here. These wicks, just like we look at the top of a trend for those wicks to start wiki be here. Where are the wicks? They give us that little bit of indecision and sense of, okay, this might not go any further than that wick. Same thing on the ascending channels when we get down and things start to slow down a little bit, as we've had this nice little descending channel. We've been below the 8. It's given a lot of a bear opportunity right there, for trades. And now we're kind of, okay, we got smaller candle here, then we get this doji, smaller wick. So we're going to see now if Amazon's going to continue its trend down, or if it's going to give us a little pullback here, possibly back up to VWAP or the 200. So we have to just kind of watch and see. We got a wick inverted hammer there. Basically, it's the same thing as what SPY is doing, and that's usually how it works.
So on the 1 hour, right around the 10th, there's a giant gap up, and it filled it 50%. Or not a gap, but a giant flagpole, whatever you want to call it. And then there's basically a resistance that forms that blasted through. There's like almost a triple top for that.
On the 1 hour back when?
The 10th?
This month?
Yeah. Because I put a horizontal line at the 86 and at the, can't see it right now, it's being blocked, but like 92.50, and it's about to hit that 92, and that's almost exactly halfway down that like ridiculous rise that I had on the 10th.
That was the big push on the 10th. Okay, and about halfway you said it was like what?
Right now.
93.67? Oh, okay, yeah. That's also a pivot right there. And I see that. I see that. So that's pretty good. Let's see. Let's go here. See that? How herky-jerky it is? I hate that. I hate that. TOS don't play well together with other software.
Seems like it could be lying on a support right now. We're about to call it, could hit it, just wait for it.
This right here, if I can get it. Hey, good morning. We're on YouTube. My YouTube is running slow, or my computer's running slow with it all today. Well, it's all good. It's just a little herky-jerky on the TOS. I could try to go see if I can clean the trash, if that'll help. All right, so I went down. This is that level right there. I don't know if you can see my chart, bud. That's that level I just marked out from Amazon back on the 10th. That was the where the first two candles of that big push. That's where they met, and I often see something happening around that area. Meanwhile, back at the SPY, we're walking that 200, and a lot of indecision there. These small candles. All right, and here was our halt. Jeremy, you still there with us?
Yeah, I'm just not feeling too good this morning.
I figured you weren't. NWTN hit 832 a little while ago. And are you able to watch my screen? Yeah, so I had marked out this 785 level using my shadow box the way I learned from SIG on how to mark those measured moves, and this was the top of the box then, and it nailed it. I love it. So yeah, so it's nuts. It halted twice today. All right, so we got Amazon back here. We're looking at we're talking about those calls for December 16th. Bud's got one going on for that as well. And how SPY fills its gap, how they the S&P guys fill their gap. All right, a little flush there on Newton now. I call it Newton. I don't know if that's the name of it. It looks like it in Newton. All right. So boom, 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 boom. Let's see what levels we're holding here. Yeah, it's gonna a little bit of a. I don't know if it's a risk off sentiment. I think it is. From what I was reading, with all the weird stuff going on today. Do we have a Fed meeting this week?
Do have some minutes coming out on Wednesday. Some membership.
Yeah, and then we have Thanksgiving, and then I think there's only a half day Friday.
Last year I made a killer play during a pile of spy books that I bought on Wednesday.
Amazon just broke its low. See what happens when it gets here.
10% return on Friday or something like that. It's crazy.
Crazy. See Disney today? Disney had a new, the old CEO came back.
Oh, really?
And they announced it like yesterday afternoon.
And it gapped up, and I bought a paper clip. Yeah, everybody. I discovered SIG's moving average bounce for like a long-term strategy. And based on that, I bought a Disney, a Google, and an Apple clip because everything's bouncing off of 50. Good stuff, man. On my paper account, of course.
This makes perfect. Gotta back test those strategies. Got all the details.
Yep. It takes time.
It's crazy. Like, you already noticed that oil's bullish, so they're all above the 200 and bouncing off the 200, and everything else is there. They're bouncing off the 50 to the negatives.
Alrighty then. Amazon going down. This let's see, we're coming back. Is that our first halt right there? Where was our first halt? Yeah, that's our first halt. It's below that. It's coming back down to this level here. My everything's making my computer slow today. Let me go try this real quick. There's a thing called collect garbage in TOS.
That's wrong.
Oh, yeah, they'll do that. They will. We got a hammer there. Well, we got a hammer on the 200, on the SPY and the MES. 1 minute 200. Yes, of course.
In any like acid offers?
He feels awfullest. He feels awfullest right now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got to keep the good stuff in the refrigerator.
I just finished my Z-Pack.
Well, I'm glad you guys are all feeling well, or getting your antibiotics in you. I mean, y'all keep that over there. Don't breathe on the mic too hard so it gets on all of us. When he said what had happened, Devin, and he said that he's going to save us the graphics details, and then you come in and you talk about acidophilus. I don't know what the heck you. I know. I couldn't resist my laughing. All right, so here we go. Sideways. It's actually like a little descending channel there on SPY. And we're going to sit here and wait and watch. That is my game. I am waiting and watching. I spent a lot of time studying this week. It's got to study your stuff, man. Got to keep the axe sharp. There's the music.
I watched the Al Brooks seminar
Uh,
on the weekend.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's good. A lot of information there, isn't it? All right, we hammered. Now we got a harami. Right there on that spot there. Let's see if it holds it. Jeremy, can you see my charts per se? Are you watching them? Just curious. Yeah, you see this over here? No, that's that's the Jeremy. I got Bollinger Bands. I got the 200 VWAP, and I got the 8. And the fat that's for those who are used to Jeremy's charts are nice, and that's the keep it simple stone chart. I don't like to say stupid, and so if I were
Say party.
yeah, I say Simon a lot of times, but today I'll say Stone. Yeah, keep it simple, Simon. And less is more. That's another one I'll say. Less is more. Keep it simple, Simon. And don't rush in the halls.
With scissors.
hey, before I forget,
Run in the hallways.
TradingView has their Black Friday sale on today. Everything's 60% off for the year.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, I got a notification, but unfortunately, I have my subscription. Yeah, they do it so it's like if you get it today, it's good for 13 months. So you're still a member when they do it again next year.
Sorry, was that trading view, did you say?
Yeah.
What is it normally then?
A lot. From what I remember, it's probably $80 a month. But if you pay right now, you save yourself a lot of money because they want you to pay for the rest of the year. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's probably about normally the package we would need is $600, like you said, and right now it's $299 or something.
Yeah, because I was watching those videos on the next level trading, which I just discovered, and the microsecond charts are essential for scalping, aren't they? And I'm working off a 1 second chart, and it's not going to cut it
Yeah.
much longer, I don't think.
Well,
You have to add the $36 for the year for each one.
let me just say we scalped on 1 minute charts for a long time. And so I would say it's not necessarily necessary to have microsecond charts to scalp because like when Jeremy started scalping on the 10-second chart, that was just this year. And so, we were scalping on the 1 minute chart for a very long time. So don't let that, I just want to make sure, don't let that hold you back.
Okay, all right, we'll do. I'm going to keep at it. I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
points do I sort of advance to the microsecond chart?
Yeah, you get there once you get the 5 and the 1. Then you can, the more you see the setups, the quicker you start seeing the setups. Then that's when you can go to the microsecond chart, like a 10-second, and you'll see them there as well.
That's good for me because it means I don't have to fork out for a massive.
Exactly. That's why I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, save yourself some money.
Here we go. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Right into this level.
These big red drops, man. Both of them are reaping star on them too. Wow.
So, well,
Did you say Harami in there?
I said that earlier, but it was a backwards one.
Crazy
But this was that level I was talking about, where I talked about where you see a candle, 2 green candles forming a bullish trend. That candle right here, where it wicks into this one, these two are together, creates a zone. Well, it's not a perfect zone, but you can see that price had a little challenge here, and it went below it, came back up, didn't seem to be able to get really past it, which is right below VWAP as well, and the 200 or the 20. And so, it kept going sideways a little bit, and then we got this big push, bull push, and then we got this hammer. And that hammer after this, that was a signal that it was going to go down even further. So now we've made that little fall. We're going to see what we're going to continue to do, if we're going to continue to go lower here, if we're going to take a little pause. And why are we going to take a little pause? Well, because back here, price took a little pause. This is the area. It might be the Globex low. I didn't mark this one out on SPY this morning because I was showing y'all a little few things differently. But this is where we talk about looking left, and this is what I talk about not negating. Don't negate the pre-market on SPY or anything, in the ES, because this is like a little double bottom actually earlier. So it's in that same level. Let's see what happens now. Does it hold that level? Oh, dang thing. Sorry guys, my charts are really jerky this morning. I probably need to do something. Used to have to do all the maintenance yourself, Devin. Used to have to defrag everything yourself. Now it does it for you.
You mean not on the computer?
Yeah, back in the old days.
Well, I still keep track.
Well, maybe that's what I need to do.
Dual hard drives, a SSD, and all the junk.
You got antibiotics for that? I'm just asking, man. I'm just asking. Okay, yes. Over here, I'm just going through some scrolls and some stuff. I'm scrolling through stocks. Yeah, I need to take off some of those videos I've made. Yeah, I've got a external hard drive I need to break out. 1 terabyte that I have that I used for video editing, where I have a whole bunch of files on, but I have room. Yeah, it's just that with the little laptop that I have, the gaming laptop, I only have 2 USB ports. So I have to disconnect the mouse, or I disconnect the headset and do it. Ain't no big deal. Probably. I just hadn't done it yet. Okay, that's probably a good point. So here we have what looks to be a bear flag. The splitter. I don't need I really don't need the splitter. Who to? I don't need the splitter really. I just.
There's another way. You can put your external hard drive into your network on your Wi-Fi. Wireless.
That's a brilliant idea. Looks like we're going to come down a little more here. We'll slow down there. All right, let me go back to finding us maybe another penny stock to look at. YouTubers, this is a crazy market right now. Crazy market. Did you say psychosis? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, take your time when you're learning this price action stuff. It's don't rush in the halls. That's my thing. Take your time. You want it good, fast, or cheap. That was a thing, anything in life. You want it good, fast, or cheap, because you ain't gonna get all three. If you want it good and fast, it ain't gonna be cheap. And if you want it cheap, it ain't gonna be good. So approach your education the same way. It's gonna, it doesn't necessarily have to cost you all your risk capital for it not to be cheap, but it's gonna cost you time and energy. Go through these charts. The more screen time you have, the more time you're looking at charts, and the better you're gonna get. But the thing is, less is more. If you're trying to say you go out and you get the encyclopedia of candlestick patterns by Bolosky or whatever his name is, and you start reading that thing, well, There's a lot of patterns in there. Which one you're going to pick? It can be overwhelming. Find a couple that work and then hone in on those first. Don't go looking, that's you got a forest and you got to find the trees, and then you got to look for the roots, the branches, and the leaves. So you got a lot of detail in there. But if you just say grab 2 or 3 patterns that you can find, like descending channels, double bottoms, double tops, if you find those and you can learn the signals for when they're going to break out of those, then that's all you need. You only need a few. You don't have to sit there and trade a bazillion things. And then especially when you first starting out, you got to grab a hold of something. Grab a hold of something that you can get some footing on. You don't have to know everything to make money in the stock market. Now, the more you know, the better it's going to be. But if you can just learn a few simple patterns, then you can be very successful at this. That's it. You're golden, man. I mean, it's not like you're having to stand in front of everybody and like being a musician or whatever else, where you're in public and you got to keep doing new things, constantly staying on the edge of doing new things to keep people entertained. Hell no. This is the stock market. Find a couple of patterns that work and then play those son of guns over and over and over and over again. Who gives a rip? It's making you money. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Oh, the ES. Only the ES. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Once you figure out the way that it acts, that it behaves, you can find it.
Yeah, exactly. And once you know what you're looking for, then you start seeing it everywhere. Descending channels, ascending channels, ascending channels. You start seeing it everywhere. Descending channels. You're looking for that break. Then you're looking for that break. And then when you start finding those key candlestick patterns and paying attention to the reversals, to the areas where it starts getting weak, finding those levels like we did up here. See, price couldn't break through this. It didn't even get there a third time. Its third try was below it. And that was a signal that we're going down. So that was easy to find. Really, I say it's easy. It took time for me to say that, like months and months and months. So, but once you see it, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, I got this level here. It's got to break that level. They got a wick here, a wick there, and it's a uneven open and close. So where one candle is opened higher than the other, that's like really a dark cloud covering type candle. Well, all right, that gave me my zone in the morning. I said, well, we got a zone there. Boom, hit it. Didn't get all the way through it. Hit it with a pin bar. Weakness. That's weakness and indecision. What happened afterwards? It went down. Came right back up. By the way, you could have got a scalp if you were scalping and this was like a penny stock. I wouldn't have scalped the option on it. But you could have got a scalp on that. That's only a 32-cent move. But if it were penny stock and you saw this, you go, oh, descending channel, hammer into that level right there, you could have got in and got that 30 cents. But that's not a penny stock. However, it made that one run right there, and then we got that indecision pin bar again. We got that little spinner doji there. It was lower than this high here. Right back down. It's all on the chart. Everything's on the chart. The chart tells you everything. There are price action traders, and that's where I am. There are price action traders. They do not read the news. They do not read fundamentals. You don't do any of that stuff. You simply look at the chart and you read the candlestick patterns. And there's futures traders, and that's how they're making the big bucks. They're simply not being distracted by a lot of things. Now, some people, that's their style. That they want to look at all the different things. They have to make sure that everything's right. There's nothing wrong with that style of trading. It's just not mine. I find it simpler to focus on the candlestick patterns and then use the averages and the indicators afterwards. But the candlestick patterns are going to give me a lot of information. We're below the 200 here. Alrighty, sir. This little gap right here between these two candles, we can see already this gap, this candle is being tested here. And then it was tested here. It's slightly higher here. So we're going to see if it's going to go back and test it. It's been testing this level below it a few times as well. So we're kind of going in between these two guys right now. Does look like it's going to come down further though. NXL is just up there because here's our guy that had its big push early this morning. On penny stocks, there's a look I like to look for. This is part of it. I would have liked to have seen this look happen in the pre-market. But there's another look where it'll give you a small double bottom somewhere around the afternoon. So we could take this one off and say we're not going to watch it anymore and say we're going to look for it to come back down to this level here where we had that pre-market high and it broke it. See if it come back to that pre-market high, maybe give us a little double bottom look and push back up. See, there's a lot. Now, not all penny stocks do that, but a lot of them that you follow will. If you're a penny stocks trader and strictly trading penny stocks, then what you want to do is you want to have like a 6 grid where you can watch 6 penny stocks at a time, and you get your levels out. You mark your levels out in the morning, about 9:15ish or so. You start marking those levels out, and then you would have your levels for 6 penny stocks on a 6-screen grid, and then you could keep an eye on them. Yes, sir.
So sorry to change it back to my newfound hope strategy. I found, I think, a really juicy one. AT&T.
What is it? ATT?
Just T.
Oh, that's right. Just T
Daily.
for telephone.
It's gonna, maybe if it goes through a little, it's gonna bounce off the 200 pretty soon, or it's doing it now, and it needs to basically fill that giant
Gap over here.
bull right around what day?
The 21st of
October.
what day is it? October? That one right there. And it is bouncing off to 200. Are you there, bud?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
So it's bouncing off the 200, and right around the 20th, it's at a giant rise, and it needs to, according to what I've learned from Jeremy, come down to about 50% of that nice little rise.
Well,
Looking at like $16 at least.
okay, but you also have this gap back here in July where you have a hammer. And that gap was July 20th. It closed at 2048. And then the next day, it opened at 1904. So you've got this huge gap right here, almost $2 gap. It's above right now. It 2 days ago, it wicked into the 200. So yeah, I mean, you got two gaps if it's going to fill, but it's right now it's above the 200. It looks more like it could or would close that one. Now I've got to sit there and look at it a little bit more, but right now I don't know. And then you got this indecision. So yeah, if it can't hold that 200, wick, yeah, I could see it coming back down.
All right, guys, I gotta get going.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for what you guys do as well. Yes, thanks.
Thanks.
Hopefully, are you guys going to be in the power hour?
We're going to do our best to be in the power hour and be here. I will do my best to do that. Jeremy may or may not because he's obviously not feeling well. So
Jeremy, feel better, hopefully.
yeah, I hope so too. But I will probably be here at 3:00.
All right, hopefully, catch you guys later. Take care.
You too now.
Yeah, I was looking past that. So the last time it broke above 200, it moved up about $2, and then $2 above this 200 would be about 50% into that gap, and that 50% gap is also a double top after the gap.
I like you getting snazzy. I like that. I see that.
I don't know if you heard that last part, but
I did. Double top.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, at most, like I'm looking at it as not as like I'm looking at it like I'm back into my like wheat brain.
Good.
Because this strategy I'm not doing.
I see it. Now look, that's that 50% retracement. I see what you were saying.
Yeah. So it'll only go above the 200. It looks like maybe the 21 something, and then come back down.
Yeah, because it's just above that 50% retracement, which sometimes I've said I've seen it at 66 instead of 50. Sometimes that's close to it. Let me get this thing off of there. Alrighty then. Well, that's a good one. Keep an eye on AT&T.
The RSI has also been hovering around 70 or above for the last month.
I like that. A little M-top look right here, right now. For the day.
Tell you what, in my paper account, that strategy worked so far. I'm up $70.
Well, that's good. Well, that's why you practice it. Practice it in the paper account.
Actual account is suffering because of the Amazon call.
Yeah, well, my Amazon calls down too, so but that's me practicing debit spreads, and so that's a whole new world for me.
And every naked call I bought so far since I joined you guys
Mhm.
dies at first,
Mhm.
and then does an incredible pull-up. And if I had held on to it, like my Facebook, I would have made $390.
Right.
And I cut out early and lost $30, $70.
That's why the price action and learning how to call your own price action is important, and that's what you're doing. Because I've cut things before thinking it was going to do something else because somebody said something, and then realized that if I'd have stuck with what I was seeing, I'd have made more profit. So we're going really sideways here, as you notice. It's 10:42. This market's going to be a little bit like this probably for a little bit, this week at least, a couple of days. So doesn't mean that we won't have opportunity to make trades as we did on our sideways market on Friday. It just means that we have to be patient and let the setups set up and let things set up a little bit more before we make decisions, which I think in this kind of market, especially if you're new to price action trading or new to trading, it's a very difficult market for those who are used to higher volatility swings that we were like in the pandemic when I got in. But at the same time, it also takes a little longer to flesh out and give you the signals that you're looking for. And that can help your learning process. So, because fast can sometimes be like too fast. But we are on a descending channel. I do like the Bollinger Bands, by the way. That's why I put them out here. But I like, I'm not changing the way I see things. I multi-chart, so I'll put I have a chart with Bollinger Band like this I usually use. And then I have my other charts like this on my 4-grid. And it's oftentimes... Yeah, I wanted to have it out there because he does it, and it's yeah, I can do it. He can't reproduce what I do. He can maybe if he gets like with Trade Station, but in Weeble he can't reproduce this stuff like I have. They don't have these indicators in Weeble. They have the CCI, and that's it. But all right, so there we go. We're breaking through that level I had marked out earlier. And I'm going to have to go find some more levels on SPY, but I'm not going to do that. Look at that. It's even funny. You get these double bottom looks on the Bollinger Bands. Now we get those double bottom looks on the Woodies, and it acts like a double bottom when you get a double bottom look on the Woodies. It pushes, price will push up. So yeah, we're back in this range where we were the other day. I did not mark out my open close levels on SPY. Forgive me for that. That's moving slow, Devin. Dang.
Yeah, it's a slow day, man.
No, my stuff is moving slow. I mean, like my software.
What are you running?
TOS. I got OBS and YouTube going right now.
And that's the only three you got going?
Discord. So I'm running two streams: a stream on Discord, stream through OBS to YouTube on the internet, and then TOS, which is a monster. Eats a lot of data. I don't even have my Weeble open.
But it's not normally like this, right?
No, it's a little, no, not like this. I don't know if it's cold or just what. I'm whining. My computer's good. See, they got my computer sick. I need antibiotics for it.
Go through and run a, like you would on a Mac, the disk doctor, disk utility.
Oh. I got to remember that. It's like I said, it's been a while. Yeah, actually I've been on a PC now almost a year.
I'm pretty sure the defrag works the same way. So it should help. Let me see. I'll see if I can find something.
I appreciate that. Let's go find some levels here. So it's all about finding levels. Where's price been? How is it revisiting? And right here, my little thing I call the VWAP bend. That's why my line is so red right here. This is that's a VWAP area. This is where we are right now, pretty much. Oh, come on. If you're from TD Ameritrade and you're watching, get this fixed, would you?
Would you say a good profit target on an option would be like 25%?
That's a good question.
I mean, I'm just thinking one contract, so like
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. One contract and the whole risk reward. If you're spending $300 on one contract, or let's say $50 on one contract, let's say 100. Let's make it easy. 100 on one contract, and that's you're looking for 25%, so you're going to make $25 on it. I think that's decent.
because I'm looking at mine now, and two of the contracts are already up 19%, 15%.
But
thinking 25.
yeah, that Might do it. Jeremy's a better one to ask that. But I think anytime you get 20%, especially, I think 20% or higher is good. And it depends. If it's $100 contract, then yeah, I guess. I'm sorry to be guessing.
No, I get it.
It's confusing sometimes. That's why the options market is a little bit has been a little challenging for me. I am focusing solely on the futures right now.
I got a tiny little scalp on the futures just now.
Awesome.
Multiple contracts is easy, right? You just pocket one and let the other ride and have a trailing stop loss.
I don't know about trailing stops on options.
Yeah, true. The theta.
Hey, Stone, I posted that into the DM with me and Jeremy. Did you hear that?
Oh, easy ways to. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, man, they should have had some links and such to help me speed apps to speed up the device.
Right.
For long term, the tasty trade guys, obviously not. If it's like right at the money or just out of the money, they say 45 days is your best possible QC option. Anything before that, they don't urge you.
Yeah, those are your 3 weeks. Anything more than how many? Than how long?
So anything less than 40, they say like the perfect option is 45 days.
And anything more than that, the theta kills you.
Well, so anything more than that, and you're just paying too much premium, and anything prior to that, the theta is going to murder you. But the problem is the 45-day option on, a blue chip is quite expensive at the money.
Sure. Absolutely. All right, so we broke that level we're looking at earlier. And we got down lower. And I was going to get levels. NWTN pushing again. Let's see. We were going to get some levels from the other day. That's where we were. All right, so here's the low from Friday. Friday's low. And that's where we are right now on Friday's low at the SPY, which is pretty close to the pre-market low. Yep, it is from Friday's pre-market. So we could expect continue to fall. It might be a day that we do wind up selling off most of the day. Let's see how it reacts with the previous day's low. And I'm going to do one more thing over here, and then I'm going to probably get off of YouTube. Guys, we appreciate y'all hanging with us. What I'm doing is I'm usually do my 15-minute opening range sooner. But today I'm not really focused on trading, so I'm a little more focused on the teaching part. Let's get rid of that. Try this again. I like a 15-minute opening range. Because I can tell. We have 3 wicks here on the 15-minute. Wiki. What does that mean there, Devin? Danger, right? Yeah, that's right. 15-minute chart. I've looked at that earlier. I'd have seen that. And that's just a sign price doesn't want to go much higher than that. That's going to be a danger area to get up in there if you were to get we got traders trapped up there. So we have this inverted hammer right on the 200. It's kind of pointing us down here. That's the 15 minute. Let's come back to the 1 minute and see where we are. I'm going to use the 5 over here on the MES. And we see we are just simply in a descending channel right there. That's just it. We're coming down further. Yeah. All right, folks. I'm going to end the YouTube stream. I hope you had a good time with us today. Come visit us at Bullish Bears. We've got the stuff. We teach you price action. We've got a great coach in Sig who does momentum. Got Jeremy as a hell of a moderator who can scalp on the 10-second chart and make your head spin, show you all sorts of possibilities. And we're going to teach you price action as well. So hope you have a good day, and we'll see you again next time.